Hello everyone! Once again, I got very lucky on Facebook Marketplace. Can you guess what I bought? Woo, colourful. So one day I was scrolling through the sketchiest marketplace of all marketplaces, and I just happened to find this Dyson DC04 De Stijl. Couldn't believe it. I haven't seen one of these for the longest time. If memory serves, it was £40. I think the guy wanted £40 for it. Now that's certainly at the limit of what I would pay for a Dyson DC04. I don't think I'd go any higher than that. But I'm sort of trying to work on building my DC04 collection up. And the other thing is, this machine is the De Stijl version that I've been missing from the trio of the Dyson De Stijl machines. I always say De Stijl, I don't know if it's De Stijl or I don't know how you say it. Let's just say DS from now on. It's the Dyson DS models. That's so much easier. I have the DC01 DS, I have the DC02 DS, and I've had them for quite some years now. So the one I was missing was the 04, and then all of a sudden, it appeared. Fantastic! There's a couple of other things it came with, and I've forgotten to put them on the table, so let me go and grab those. And as if by magic, editing, it also came with two DS floor tools. So there's a whole story here. I contacted the guy on Facebook and he messaged me back and said, yeah, the guy who's selling this cleaner is an old chap and he's sort of downsizing. I think he might have actually been starting the process of going into a care home because he was certainly of an age. So I turned up and this, bless him, this old guy was sat in the chair. Oh yeah, what's going on? And the other guy, he must have been like a carer for him. He wasn't his son or anything. I'm pretty sure he was a carer. So he demonstrated the Dyson to me and showed me it working, and it runs fine. The old guy sort of woke up and said, "Oh yeah, I've had it for years." I think it's probably, I forget where the ratings plate on this, it's probably like a 1999, 2000 kind of year. So he said to the other guy, "Don't forget the bag with the bits in it." And he went, oh, the other guy said, "Oh yeah, there's a bag with it." And there's these two DS floor tools in there. So, I mean, I would expect to see one with this cleaner because they all came with the floor tool. And I said, "Well, why is there two?" And he went, the old guy went, "Oh yeah, that's from the other machine." I went, what the other machine? And he didn't really get any further past that point. He just said it's from the other machine. So we can assume that one of these heads came with this DS. And then I kind of wonder if maybe they had a DC02 DS as well. Because why would you have two if you didn't have another machine? So, I mean, yeah, it's great. I've got two of them now. I think the DC01 had a different style head. It didn't have this head. It had the other style head, the wedge-shaped head that came with the DC02 as well, I think. That's around somewhere. But these heads are like new. If I show the camera, look, if you look at the base plates, I mean, they've hardly been used. It's amazing, really. So we had those, and the old guy said, "Oh yeah, I've had loads and loads of vacuum cleaners over the years. I tend to keep everything," and of course this really piqued my interest. And the carer said, "Oh yeah, you might have something in the garage." And the old boy was like, "Oh yeah, maybe." So he got up slowly, and then we went out, and then we went into his garage, and it was an amazing garage. He was obviously doing woodworking, and he had a Hoover Aquamaster there as his garage vac. He wasn't going to let that go because he was still sort of using it. I don't think the old boy could do much woodworking anymore, but he was like, he was very firm that that wasn't going anywhere. And he's looking around on all his shelving and everything. He says, "Oh, I've definitely got machines here. Definitely got them." So one of the ones he pulls out is an Electrolux 65, and oh my god, it was a mess. It was an absolute mess, and I was like, "Oh, I don't really want to buy that. I've got a 65, so I don't need a second one." And the handle was broken off, and it was covered in paint, and it was just a real mess. I was like, no, don't really want that. And then he carries on looking around the shelves, and he pulls out this floor tool as well, which is from an Electrolux 330. And I was like, oh my god, how the hell have you got all these? I've got a collection of floor tools. So I got a bonus Lux 330 head. I don't know if I know where mine is. This one's not in great shape. You see that the bumper seal there is very very rough. But I mean, it does add a push. Oh no, I do have one of these. I'm pretty sure I've got one on my Henry actually. The yellow Henry that I use, I'm pretty sure it's got a 330 head that's from my 330 that's in the collection. But at least I've got a spare head now, should another one turn up. So I walked away, handed over my £40 with this 04 DS, 2 DS floor tools and a 330 floor tool as well. So, you know, not bad, pretty good. Yeah, quite pleased with that. It's just such a bizarre story. It was very surreal. This old boy going around his garage pulling out all this stuff from the shelves, and I said to him, I really wish you had this vacuum cleaner, because that would have been amazing. Imagine just randomly turning up a 330 in some old boy's garage. That would have been so cool. But alas, no. So back to the 04. Well, it is in pretty reasonable shape. I'm just going to move my floor tools out of the way. Let's put them down there. Slight fading to the reds, unfortunately. If you look at the handle, which I know you can't see in this shot, but the handle is very much more red than the base is. It still looks okay. I'm not going to complain, because the chances of getting another one of these are pretty slim. It is also missing its all-purpose tool. We have the brush, but we don't have the AP tool. We do have the correct purple crevice nozzle, so the chances of finding a purple AP tool are pretty slim, I have to say. Now this machine has developed a fault that all DC04s with the ABC brush control have. Because they're stored like this, you notice that the nozzle plate is down. It's flat on the floor like that when it's upright, and this leads to a particular problem with this series of machines. It has underneath a lower hose which guides the air from the cleaner head into the machine. If I tilt the machine back, you can see it. Yeah, it's just there. Look, there it is. That's the lower hose. Because the head is always like this when it's stored, and certainly when the machines aren't used, it kinks the lower hose. So when you come to use the cleaner and you put it back, this one is not too bad now, because I have previously treated it. What happens is this base will sort of be at an angle, so it will be up like that, and then of course it completely misses the carpet. So you've been pushing it back and forth, and actually nothing happens with it. It's sort of holding it now actually, but yeah, if I push it down, there you go. You see, it should naturally drop. It's not bad on this one now, because I have previously done the treatment. But what I can do in this video is actually show you how you can overcome this, because you may have a 04 which you're using and you think, that's not working as well as it should. It's really simple. All you do is take off the lower hose, which I should be able to do like this. It just detaches and pulls off like so. And what you'll find is that your hose is really kinked. So this one isn't too bad, but they end up like this, almost at right angles because of how they're stored, and they get really stiff over time. The plastic of the hoses stiffens up, and they just stay like that. So when you put the cleaner down, they stay kinked, which raises the nozzle off the floor. So in order to fix this, we need to go to the kitchen. So let's go to the kitchen now. And here we are in the kitchen. Now I've actually taken the hose off my DC04 Absolute to show you this because it will probably be a more dramatic change. So this is the one from the DS, this is the one from the Absolute, and you'll see that there is a certainly a more kink in this hose. Now the first thing you have to do is put your hoses down and take your finger, let's use this finger, and turn on your kettle because you need boiling water. The second thing you need is a bowl. So, bowl me. Thank you. Once your kettle's boiled, go over to the sink. Once your kettle has boiled, place your hoses, or hose, or multiple hoses if you like, into the bowl. You can see here, this is the Absolute hose, and it is very stiff. It just automatically springs back into this bent form. These hoses should be straight actually. When they're new they are straight, but yeah, over time this is what happens to them. Now grab your kettle, being very careful obviously, and put the boiling water into the bowl. Now watch what happens to these hoses. Ta-da! The heat of the boiling water straightens them. So now all you have to do is leave them in this boiling water until the water cools down, giving them a chance to straighten as much as they possibly can. Now this isn't a permanent fix. They will in time go back to that kinked formation. But if you want to use your 04 that's been stored for some time, just do this to them. Just take off the lower hose, give them this treatment. Honestly, the difference will be unbelievable. So we're going to leave that now, let it soak, and then we'll put them back on the machines. Well, I shall leave those hoses soaking for a while, just so they get as straight as they possibly can be. Returning to this one, so the plan for this, obviously for it to be part of the collection, not going to be used very much, definitely not, going to keep it nice. It needs a really good clean, a good service. It needs some clean filters as well because the filters are a bit whiffy. Yeah, and I think when it's done, it would be a really nice example of this Dyson. The plan, video-wise, is to potentially do a video of the 3 Dyson DS machines, the 1, the 2 and the 4. Why didn't they do a 3 in that style? It's just that irks me somewhat. You know, a DC03 De Stijl would have been pretty cool, but they didn't. Well, never mind. So we'd do a video of the trio because it would be nice to have a video on YouTube of the 3 Dyson De Stijl machines. And this is not the last time you will see a DC04 here either, because I've got a very special 04 just off to the side, and actually another special one over there. So in that video there will be 2 machines because I want to do a comparison. I just leading into that, I do want to say, of all the vacuum cleaners Dyson has ever produced, in my humble opinion, DC04 is the absolute best of them. And there's one DC04 that, again, in my humble opinion, is the absolute best. And if you were gonna have a vacuum cleaner that you had to keep and it had to be yours forever, it's the one I would choose. So that, yeah, that just tells you how amazing this machine that I'm going to show you that's over here, I can see it out the corner of my eye, actually is. But that's a video for another day. It's currently in planning. So yeah, the next time we see this one, it will be all serviced and refreshed, and it will be lovely. And yeah, perhaps we can use all of the de-still machines. I have to find all the tools for the DC02, but I can probably do that. Well, at least I think I can. But anyway, yeah, so that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to do that trick with your lower hoses. It also works for the DC07 as well. You can do that with your DC07 hoses because they suffer with the same problem. Don't forget to do the usual commenting, subscribing and liking, because it really helps me out and I appreciate it massively. Until the next video, I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.